Hi everybody, how are you today? My name is Carolina and welcome to my channel. This is a channel mainly about cross stitch. So, it is March 4th today, 2021, and I'm coming to you with an update. So thank you so much for being here. Welcome back if you're returning. Welcome if you're new. So I'm very excited to be here because it's been just about 2 weeks since my last video, a little bit over. I was actually hoping to record on March 1st, and then I got sick, just a cold, but still a pretty rough one, so I was kind of like not at my best for a few days there. And I was kind of kicking myself because I'm like, I totally could have recorded probably between February 25th and February 28th a few different times, and I was like already kind of planning on doing it on the March 1st day, and it ended up panning out, so it's a little bit longer. So I have some progress on some of the projects that I would have shown you before the fact, but it is what it is. So yeah, so I have February wrap up to do. I worked on my WIPGO project, so I do have 2 goals met there. I'm very excited about that. So far I was able to finish my January goals and my February goals. I'm hoping I can keep doing that, but I don't know if that's going to happen. So I'm going to keep writing that out for as long as possible. And then as the year progresses, I will probably not be able to finish everything, and we'll have to start prioritizing some projects versus others, but it's all good. No New Starts is going really well. I'm really motivated. I mean, there are times where I'm like, oh, I kind of want to start that, and I'll start thinking about it, about what I want to do with it and stuff like that, but I know that at least I don't think I'm going to be starting it. So yeah, so I guess I'll go ahead and start with my February draws and show you where I got, and then move forward from there. So let's get moving on that. Okay, so first up for WIPGO, I got Victorian Charm was called. This is what it looks like. It is a kit by Dimensions. I've had it for years. I started it in 2016 for a sale for Victorian Charm, and I put in about 20 stitches and then I left it. So I pulled it out at first, like I said in my last video. I'm like, oh, you know, I'll finish it, but I'm like, no, like it would, you know, it would take up, I'd probably have to put it multiple times on my board for it to make sense. So I decided to go for about a third, and I did that. So I did the top third of the house, and I'm quite happy with where I got. I didn't do the back stitching. I thought about it because it's gonna be a lot of back stitching at the end, but I think I will just leave it to the end. I don't mind back stitching too much. I mean, sometimes it can get a little bit frustrating, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely something where it's not as big of a deal as for some people. I mean, some people don't like it, which is totally fine. Now, what I am thinking of maybe not doing is all those stars are French knots. So I might just do beads, but we'll see. Maybe when I get to it, I'll want to do it. The other one was just a little finish that I've had. Like I said, I'm trying to finish projects, gets whips going. This was originally a purse project. This is the drum ornament by Needle Magic Ink. I believe all of the Needle Magic Ink stuff is out of print. It's one of their stitch and hang kits. And this holds a special place in my heart because the very first thing I stitched was a Needle Magic Ink ornament kit that my dad bought me when I was 14 because he saw it and he knew my grandma had stitched and he thought I might like it, and I did. So yeah, so when I first started stitching again, when I was older, I went on eBay and tried to find as many of them as possible, and I got about maybe 8 or so. I have 4 left. I'm sure there are more. You can hop on eBay and get them. When my dad bought it for me, he got it for $1, guys. $1. It depends on the seller. Some people just kind of want to get it out, so they are selling it for $1, $2. Has to be usually a little bit more because, you know, shipping. But they shouldn't be too expensive if you were interested. These are unperforated plastic, 14 count. And that's what that looks like. It is a yarn, so it's just one thread. And I love it. Super cute. I don't do anything to the backs. I just leave it. It's a mess. Like, if you really look at it, it's a mess, but from far away it looks fine. And either way, it's gonna be hanging on the tree. So I'm thinking of getting a small fake tree and just kind of have like a stitchy ornament tree, so that might be something that might happen this year. I don't know, I'll think about it. But that's a finish, so that's one WIP down, so I'm very excited about that. And then my second WIPGO project was also a finish, and I'm so excited. So this is the Hedgehog and Reindeer stocking. It is a kit by Dimensions, and it's pretty straightforward as far as kits go for stockings, because they can get pretty complex with all the stitching involved. But yeah, this is what that looks like. I have the name over here. Snowflakes, little cabin surrounded by pine trees, an adorable reindeer, the bow. Then you get to the hedgehog, who has a little sled with presents, and a little birdie getting him a message. So the only thing that technically might not be done is the outlining. I do not finish my great aunt who started the stocking, and I think I'm thinking of doing a stitch with me, or maybe I stitch on one of my other stockings and explain the whole stocking thing in a video where like I can title it That Stocking Story, because I feel like I say it all the time. Because I have had some people ask me like, why do you have so many stockings all the time? And the reason why is because it's a family tradition, and there are, you know, members that need their stockings, so I've been working on them. But yeah, so I have 4 to do this year. That was one of them. I'm so glad it's done. It was the simplest one. I just went with what WIPGO drew. I have all 4 of them on my WIPGO board, and I'm waiting for them to be drawn, but I think I mentioned this also in my last video. If the others haven't been drawn at all by like June, I'm gonna have to pull them out, or I'm not gonna get them done. So yeah, so there is that. And other than that, it's just progress. So yeah, so I have a couple things I'm participating in March. So let's talk about those, and then I'll actually go ahead and show you the projects. So in March, I am participating in a few things. Of course, there's WIPGO, that's year-round, but I am also participating in March Madness. I know there's a few variations of this out there. I think I've seen one where you have 5 rounds and you start with 16 projects, make it all the way down to 1. I'm doing the one hosted by Stephanie Kine on the Stitch from Stash Facebook group. Although I'm not doing the Stitch from Stash like budgeting event myself, I'm doing, you know, when there's a challenge that seems interesting, I'll go ahead and do it, and also just kind of following people's progress and all of that. So yeah, so basically it's 4 rounds. It's based off the basketball March Madness. I don't do that, but I mean, I've seen it before with other sports. I've seen it like with the FIFA World Cup, where you kind of talk about who's gonna make it through. I don't know when they start, but I've seen it start, I believe, from the round of 16. Maybe. I'm not sure. Maybe the step before, where basically you have teams paired up based on the games they're going to play, and then you have the winner, and then who they, you know, the winner of 2 different games, and they'll, you know, play, and then 2 other teams until you get to the winner. So same thing kind of with this. So I am starting with 8 projects, and I paired them up, and there was a few different ways she offered. She put stitches, so I think you start with 200, then you go to 400, 600, 800, or it's either, I think it's 200, 400, 800, 1600, or you could do time, where it was like 1 hour, 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours. I don't remember exactly, because I kind of decided to do my own thing, which she did mention, kind of like a you do you thing. So I was going to go by time. I didn't really want to count stitches. I only have 1 full coverage in my March Madness, where Pattern Keeper would count the stitches. For the other ones, I was not interested in counting the stitches. So I decided to go by time, and I was going to start with 2 hours because I thought 1 hour wasn't going to do much for me progress wise, but I kind of just end up going like goal wise. I stitch on it for a bit of time until I'm satisfied with the progress, then I deem the round done and I pick a winner and I move on. So I'm going to start with 8 projects, go down to 4, go down to 2, go down to 1. And honestly, I feel like I'm cheating a little bit because I kind of already know who the winner is going to be, because 2 of the projects are WIPGO draws, and my biggest WIPGO project is going to be the winner. I just know that because I want to finish it. But it's still fun to get progress on some of these other projects that I'd like to finish this year, except for one, the full coverage. I have just a page goal for 2 pages actually, but which I don't know how I'm gonna do that, because with pattern keeper I'm not always sticking to pages, but in this project I might. We'll see how it goes, but roughly 2 pages is the goal. But for the other ones, they're all finishes whether they're on WIPGO or not, so I just kind of worked on them till I felt happy with the progress, and I deemed the round done. And even though I kind of know Bluebeard's princess is gonna win, it's still fun to show the progress. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. I'm gonna start with Mirabella, Bluebeard's princess, which was the first draw for WIPGO, and because she's set up on a bigger scroll frame on my Lowry, I actually videoed myself. I recorded a clip talking about it, so I am gonna go ahead and insert that here. Hey guys, so for Princess Mirabella, so this is Bluebeard's Princess Mirabella by Mirabilia. I figured I'd just show you a clip here and insert it, just because she's already on my Lowry stand on my scroll frame here, and it'd be easier to record. I don't know why this is happening, but when I first try to video her, she doesn't look focused. But anyway, this is just a picture. So you're about to see my stitching. Now I am doing a color conversion by Tracy Jenkins. The conversion can be found on the Mirabilia Nora Corbett conversions group on Facebook. I will link that in the description down below. And I'm modifying a couple things myself here. So this is where I am at. She is WIPGO draw number 1 for the month of March. The goal is to finish her. I'm not 100% sure I'll be able to finish her in March, but I will try. If not, it'll be one that I'll pick up throughout the year and work on it. So the main difference that I'm doing from Tracy's conversion is that she included some extra bling on her. So here she added some like arm bracelets up here and a necklace. I'm not going to be doing that. And the other change is I'm changing the skin tone to a more tan skin tone to be closer to mine. But everything else I am following her conversion as well. Also, I think another difference is there are 2 colors of treasures that go, let me see if I can, you see those dark spots on the picture? Those are Mill Hill treasures. There's 2 colors, and she didn't make any changes. So it was a light pink and a dark pink. So I just bought all the dark pink. It was supposed to be, I think, 2 packets of the light pink and 1 of the dark. I just bought all 3 packets of the dark pink because I think it would go better with the colors that she has. And if I think about it, maybe a purple would have been nicer, but honestly I was kind of lazy. I looked it up and I'm like, oh, these will look nice. And there are some sort of pinkish stitches involved, so I mean it'll work fine. So that is where I am at. She is also a big piece of my March Madness, and like you'll see in that video, which will be a vlog, I haven't decided if I'm gonna put it up at the end of the whole process or put it up at the end of each round. If you have a comment on that, let me know down below. Would you want to see me upload the vlog at the end of each round? There's going to be 4 rounds, or do you just want to see one whole big vlog? Let me know. But yeah, so she is, I feel kind of like I'm cheating on that because I'm pretty sure she's going to be the winner because she's a WIPGO draw. Even though both WIPGO draws are meant to be finishes, she is a much bigger project, so yeah. But I'm very excited to be working on her again. I haven't pulled her out for a while now, and I would love to get her done this year. So that's where I am with her, guys, and I look forward to showing you how far I get in March. I'm hoping to hopefully, I would like to upload again in 2-ish weeks instead of at the end of the month, so you can see a little bit more in between progress. But I have mentioned before, I'm pretty active on Instagram. I upload a lot there, and if you're part of the Sunshine Stitchers Facebook group or the Friday Off the Grid Facebook group, those are the 2 groups I'm the most active in. So yeah, back to the main part of the video. So yeah, so that is Bluebeard's Princess. I'm very excited about it. I'm very happy with the conversion I'm doing, and I hope to finish it. I hope I can finish it this month. I did mention, I think I mentioned in the clip, she's not the biggest mermaid. Sometimes I'm sorry if I say I mentioned something and I never did. If you don't already know, I do record videos in Spanish and in English, and sometimes I don't remember if I've said something, because the way I record, sometimes I'll do clips, and I'll record like the Spanish clip and the English clip, or the English clip and the Spanish clip, and I'm like thinking, and I'm like, I think I mentioned that, and then it turns out I had mentioned it in the other video but not this one. So just in case, I had mentioned that she's not the biggest mermaid. She does have a border with some seahorses and a little doodad up at the top. I am planning on doing the border this time, so even then I don't think she's super huge. I think I can get all of her done, her stitching. That would be good enough progress for me, I think. If I finished all the other stuff, that'd be great. If not, then throughout the year I can work on that. So let me show you the rest of the stuff. So here we go. So I wasn't sure how to show you this because I showed you her which was a WIPGO draw, so I kind of want to show you the next WIPGO project, but I also want to show March Madness. So okay, I'll probably just show the pairs off. So I am doing a March Madness vlog. I think I mentioned this in the clip. Again, let me know if I repeated myself. I apologize. So I'm doing a vlog for March Madness. Would you want to see the vlog at the very end? Like go through everything and show you like, oh, this is where I started, then I went down, then I went down, or after I finish round 1 and the 8 projects come down to 4, do you want me to post that? And then when that round I pick the winners, post that like a separate little vlogs, or would you like to see one big vlog? Let me know in the comments down below. Depending on the responses I'll get, I'll put it up one way or the other, so definitely let me know. And if I don't hear back a lot, I'll just pick one of the 2 ways. I don't know. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I'll show the ones that have been paired off, and I'll just mention which one was the WIPGO draw when I pull it. So I paired Bluebeard's Princess Mirabilia with one of my other stockings. This is the Popcorn Elves, I think. I call it Playful Elves, but it's Popcorn Elves. Let me just take it out. I thought it'd be fine, but it looks kind of weird. So this is what it's going to look like. It's kind of a lot of stitching. Like I said, the one that was drawn, the one that I finished, is a lot less stitch intensive, if I'm being honest with you guys, than my other, than all the other stockings. Like this one that I'm working on right now, this Elves one, is the next least stitch intensive, and the other 2 are pretty stitch heavy, so we'll see how that goes. I feel like when I start working on those, like, my other projects are going to take a big backseat, but it'll be nice to have them done and just be caught up, have everybody have their stockings at Christmas time. So I paired it up with this one. Now I don't unfortunately have a picture to show you, but last time I had the green, light green of his shirt done, the pants, and a little bit of the shoes, as well as his face and the belly. So I added everything else. I finished up the shirt, I finished up his shoes, I did his hands, and I added his little hat. And he was paired with Bluebeard's Princess, and he is going to go away for now until he gets called for WIPGO. So I'm pretty happy with the progress. Again, at first I was going to do 2 hours, and then I'm like, well, I might as well finish the little guy off. So I finished that elf, and yeah. So next up, I'll show you the next pair. So this is actually WIPGO draw number 2, and the goal is a finish, and I think I can do this because it's small. This is Butterfly Vignette by Dimensions Gold Petites. It's on 18 count Ada. And again, I started this in 2016 for one of those like multiple day starts. And I started it in the corner and did a little bit of stitching, and I hadn't picked it up. And I picked it up a couple times last month. So this wasn't all just from, actually I haven't pulled this out yet for March Madness. It's coming up next. This was just stitching I did throughout the month when I needed something a little bit more chill to work on. So I'm very happy with that. I'm going to be working on the butterfly when I pull it out for March Madness. And I do think this one's going to win the round, but it might not go on past round 2. So I'm very excited with where it's at. Hopefully I can finish it within the month, but if not, I'll just keep pulling it out till it is finished. So that battled with Bluebird, and Bluebird is my oldest whip. This is a kit from Busilla. It was like less than $5 at Walmart. It was meant to be a camping trip whip, and it has not been. I worked on it that one time. Even though I've been camping since I started it, I didn't work on this. I had other things I was working on. So I don't think I'm going to have a designated camping or travel whip. I feel like I'm just going to have something small always going normally. So that'll just be what I pick. And for camping, it doesn't have to be super tiny because, you know, I can have a stitching bag that I take with me. And I am excited. I'm hoping to camp this year. I mean, I know things are not better. Really, I mean, we're getting vaccinated, which is a good start, but things can get much better. But anyway, camping can be a pretty isolated sort of vacation where you're kind of doing family time and hiking and just being outside. So it's a doable vacation. So maybe we can do that this year. But I just wanted to finish him out. He is my oldest whip, and I hadn't really touched him because he was a camping whip. And I got a ton done. I just had a little bit of the tail, and I got most of the body done. So I think when I first started it back in 2015, there was a little error in one of the stitches, just like one stitch off. So if you see the picture, there's like flowers and leaves there. I think what I'll do is I'll finish the bird, do the bottom flowers and leaves, and do the top bottoms flowers and leaves, and then kind of just add extra flower or extra leaf. It's just going to be 1 or 2 stitches, so it should be pretty organic, so I'm not worried. I was going to pick it out and just restart it because it also took me a second to kind of figure out where I was at, and I figured if I did that, I would just UFO it, so I just left it, and it's fine. So yeah, and it's a little smaller than I thought it would be, which is fine. Better for me, but I don't know why I thought it would be a little bit bigger. It's not like I have a lot of fabric here, so but yeah, so he's not going to move on. Butterfly Vignette is going to move on, but that's okay. You know, I'll pull him out, I'm sure, at some point this year, and be happy, you know, with getting him done at some point. So I'm excited about that. Okay, so next up, so I've done 1, 2, I have 2 more pairs to go for March Madness. I paired this one. Unfortunately, I don't have a picture, but you kind of will get the gist when you see it. I paired my Palco 2015 Sal. I did not start it in 2015. It was posted in 2015, however. And originally it was, I believe it was set up to be 6 months, then some quote or saying, and then the other 6 months. I'm doing it in a 3x4. It's, you know, it's 12 square, so I'm doing it a 3x4, and I'm not doing any writing in between the first 6 and the second 6 months. So this is cute little Sal where you got a design for every month, and I had up to July done until now when I pulled it out and I got the next box done. And I had mentioned before that I wasn't sure what color I wanted to do for August, and I was going to skip it and go to September and then come back to it, but then I found one that I wanted to use, so it worked out really well. Now what I may do that for is for November, because I have 2 or 3 flosses I'm considering, and the main issue is the one I really want is going to clash with the December one, so I probably won't be able to use it. So I have 2 other ones that are probably going to be the ones used, and I'm kind of leaning towards one. Who knows? Probably once I stitch September and October, I might be just ready to pick November and just stick that one next. But if I'm really still not sure, I'll skip to December and then I'll pick November after that. So yeah, so I'm very happy. This was another one where I was like, I'll do 2 hours, and then I'm like, kind of feels silly to not finish the block, being so close to being done with the block. Plus, like I mentioned, I was also kind of sick, so I was kind of vegging out a bit, so this was a nice, pretty straightforward stitch. So I'm very happy with where it's at. I am going to put it away. It's not going to move forward on in its round because, honestly, it's goes pretty quickly, so I feel like if I pull it out in, you know, the next few months, I can do maybe 1 block a month and finish it up. Or maybe I'll just be ready to keep going with it, you know, like when I put out 2 blocks and another 2 blocks, who knows. But if not, like if I do at least, you know, a block a month, it's gonna take me what, 4 more months to finish? That's pretty cool. So either way, it's gonna be done this year, like for sure. So I'm excited about that. So that battled with A Little Mermaid Sleeps. This was a market purchase 2018, which one of the ladies from my LNS, the Cross Stitch Cupboard, saw it at market and just bought it knowing that I would want it. And I did want it. And I started it that year, and then I didn't finish it. And my daughter's 3 now, but it's all good. I'll be all right. So I worked on that one as well, and I finished Mama Mermaid. So I'm so excited. This is on 40 count pink linen. I don't know the name of it. And I'm so excited because I kind of looked at this and I didn't even look at the floss list. I looked at it and I'm like, I know exactly what flosses I want to use that are similar but not what's called for. And also she has like that variegated part in her tail. I thought it looked weird how it was. It just seemed... I just preferred to leave her all one color and just use the variegated for the wording and the little heart they're holding in between them. So for the words, I'm using 1 thread for her and the little girl mermaid. I'm using 2 threads because I'm using 2 relatively thin threads. I'm using a Most Sale silk from their older silks, so 1 thread is pretty thin. In fact, when I stitch with it regularly, I usually have to use 4 strands because it is on the thinner side. It's more of a rayon-y silk, which is fine with me. I love the effect. I know some people don't like it, but I liked it fine. I know she has newer silks now. I think they're better, but I haven't really bought silks in a long time. I usually buy as needed, though I'm starting to get more into wanting to collect floss, but I was on her silk subscription for like almost 2 years, so I have so much that I'm good, with Most Sale silk right now, unless she releases a color that I just want, and then I did 1 thread of one of the DMC light effects, to give it a little sparkle. Originally I was just going to do the light effects, but it kind of disappeared on the fabric because the light effects was one that was a pastel-y kind of color and it just didn't work. So that's why I added the silk, because I figured if I added cotton it would be too thick for 2 strands over 40 count. But since the light effects 1 strand and the silk I'm using 1 strand is about 1 strand thickness of a regular, cotton floss, it worked out just fine. It's a little bulky, a little harder to work with, but I think that's more the light effects, which are not the greatest. But I make them work because I have a lot of them and I'm not going to be wasteful. So I do make them work when I want to use them. So she is moving on. The goal is to finish her, maybe not during March Madness necessarily, but this year. And I think I'm going to work on the words next and try and get Mermaid and Sleeps Here done. And that would be a good enough goal for me. If I have enough time, I might work a little bit more on it. But if not, I'll just put it away. I don't think this one's going to go on to round 3. If I'm trying to think of which whips might move on. And maybe it will. We'll see. We'll see. But regardless, I can definitely finish her this year. So I'm excited to be doing that. So yeah, so that is pair 3. So 1 more pair to go. So this one, again, I don't have a picture to show you. So it is my Tilt and Craft Sailor Moon. So I'm going to go ahead and I was thinking of maybe showing you on my phone, but I don't think I have it within reach. Do I? No, that's okay. I'll go ahead and insert a picture of what that's going to look like here. And here is where I'm starting. So this is where I ended last year. I did 1 page. The goal, WIPGO goal, is 2 pages, but this hasn't been called for WIPGO. One of the reasons I picked it is because the second event I'm participating in is Stitch Asia, hosted by Abby of Abby Bella Stitch, in which you're kind of just celebrating Asian designs, Asian inspired designs, Asian creators. So maybe they have designs that are Asian inspired or not, but they are Asian, or like fabric dyers or floss dyers that are Asian. So yeah, so this is going to be Sailor Moon, which is based off manga / anime from the work of Naoko Takeuchi. I think I'm going to go here first and then here. I haven't decided, but I think I'm gonna go here next. And this is the one where I said I might. Now, when I did this page, I did it off a paper chart. Then I now have Pattern Keeper, so I don't know if I'm gonna stick to one page. I might kind of stick to one page this, but just kind of confetti it out a little bit so I don't get those harsh lines. Which is super easy to do with Pattern Keeper. So I'm good. I put her in March Madness because I figured it would be a great way to incorporate her. I picked her for Stitch Asia first, and then when I really sat down to think about March Madness, I'm like, well, let me just include the piece a piece I'm already going to be working on anyway, and I'll get as much progress on it as possible. I think this is going to go on to the next round and get, just a good progress, because the WIPGO goal is 2 pages. So, the more I can stitch on it now that I have more time. I have Bluebeard's Princess to supposedly finish this month. So, but anyway, more progress I get on it now, the easier it'll be to hit the WIPGO goal when she is called, and then I can work on some of these other projects that I do want to finish but aren't necessarily on my WIPGO board. So that is going to be battling against I Didn't Do It by Busilla, which I realize it's one of the only projects I did not prepare, so I'm going to go get that and show you it in no time for you. Okay guys, I'm back. So I'm going to be showing you I Didn't Do It. This is battling Sailor Moon for March Madness. I do want to finish this year, but it's not on WIPGO, so it'll be one of those that I'll pull out like maybe when I finish other goals, or if I just need to stitch on something smaller. So this is where I'm at with him. I haven't touched him in a long time. So I finished most of the background except the little part between his ear and himself. As I mentioned before, I'm not doing the, I don't know if that's a curtain or a chair that he's peeking out of. I'm just going to end it where his face ends with her, because this is for my puppy. So yeah, so I'll stitch on it roughly 2 hours, but like I said, when I feel comfortable with the progress, happy with the progress, I will consider it done and then just kind of go from there. But that is everything I'm working on this month. So yeah, I'm very excited to be back. This video is definitely going to be a lot shorter than my other videos, which is nice, because it's more realistic to finish the video within a more reasonable amount of time. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to mention. Normally I would mention acquisitions, but I don't really have any. I did order something for stitching, but it hasn't arrived yet, so I guess I'll be showing you that in the next video. I guess I can show you one thing. It's a crochet related purchase, but it's still fun. Unfortunately, my blanket that I have is not with me. It's in my bedroom, because sometimes I work on it when I'm in bed right before going to sleep, and my husband is still sleeping, because I guess, as I've mentioned in a few of my videos, I'm recording in the morning right now, so I guess I'll show you that next time. But I'll show you this just to have some acquisitions to show you. So this is, I got it off of Amazon. I think it was like $12, and it's a set of ergonomic crochet hooks, and these are obviously very basic, but it's all good. I'm a newbie crocheter, so it's no biggie. So the only one I don't have to show you is the 5mm, because it's with the blanket. But yeah. So this is what they look like. I picked this one because the metal part of the hooks is colored, and that just made me so happy, because most of them, the grip is colored, but then the hook is just silver. So I saw these and they were all colors, and I'm like, those are the ones I want. So the ergonomic is this kind of grip part that's rubbery. It's nice and like it doesn't slide off or anything. It's just on there. This is the biggest one. This is the 8mm hook. And it doesn't have the letter number, which is interesting, because in US they use the letters a lot, but I actually prefer that it just has the size on there. So 8mm, 6.5. I feel like that's a big jump. There should be a 7 in here. Huh. Interesting. I wonder if there was supposed to be a 7mm in here. I don't know. Anyway, so this 8, this is the 6.5. This is the 6, the 5.5. The other thing I like, it has the 0.5s. I feel like I don't see that as much, so that's really cool. The 5 is the one I don't have with me, but it is purple, my favorite color. I have this, obviously this lavender purple, but the purple, so I'm really excited that the 5mm is purple because it's my favorite color, and 5 is what you use on worsted weight. So I don't know, it just made me happy because it's my favorite color and I'm excited to use it a lot. So anyway, so the 5, then you've got the 4.5, the, does it go to 4? Yep, it goes to 4. Then it has a 3.5, it has a 3, it has the 2.5, oh, I'm sorry, it goes, oh yeah, yep, 2.5. And the 2. So I like that it goes from pretty big to pretty small, because I feel like most sets that I've seen kind of either focus on the smaller sizes or the bigger sizes. But it's nice to have a set that has, except I'm really curious why there's not a 7. I'm wondering if I misplaced it. You know what I bet happened? I bet there is one and I'm missing it right now, because that just seems weird that there wouldn't be one. But then again, it does jump from 6.5 to 8. So I'm wondering, I'm kind of wondering, 6, if there's a 7.5 and a 7, and my daughter was playing with my little pouch and she misplaced them, because that does seem like a big jump. Like at least go from 6.5 to 7 to 8. I don't know, I'll have to look around. So I'm glad I checked this bag out because I haven't been using it. It also came with these, and I'm not sure what these are for. I feel like they're for knitting, but why would they be in a set of crochet hooks? I don't know. But these kind of bent needles. It came with darning needles, which are plastic. Which is fine. You can use plastic or metal ones. So that's nice. It came with some stitch markers, and I'm just keeping those in the baggies. And it came with squizzers. So yeah, I keep all of that in this bag because I figured it's a nice thing to carry around. I'm gonna go look around and see if I can. I mean, I'm gonna record my Spanish video, but then I need to go look and see. Maybe I'll look on the Amazon listing, like if I can't immediately find them, and double check that they're supposed to be. I feel like there's at least a 7, and my daughter pilfered it and was playing with it, so that's fantastic. But I love that she's really curious about my crafting. I hope that eventually she'll want to craft herself. So obviously this is kind of a newbie thing. It was very inexpensive. It's nice to have the ergonomic hooks. It's nice to have all of it in one pouch. I kind of started looking at some ergonomic hooks on Etsy that are a lot nicer, where they're like anywhere between $14 to $20 each. Some are handmade, some are with resin, there's a few different ones. And I think maybe eventually, as I get more into crocheting, I might pick like the more common sizes, at least common for me, buy some of the nicer hooks, because it'd be a fun little thing to do and support an Etsy creator. So yeah, so that's the only haul I have to show you. I don't have anything stitchy right now, but for my next video I should. So stay tuned for that. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below. I'm making it a point this year to answer to every comment, and you know, with the YouTube dashboard, it's super easy, and I hadn't really played around with it before because I hadn't been uploading consistently, but I'm hoping to do that this year. So yeah, so there's that. Thank you for coming back and spending some time with me. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and that you continue to do so. I will wrap it up here, and I'll see you next time. Bye!